history in it. When a poem has history and breath along with the multitude, the poet's melody supplements into a song of history. Poet Kusang's morning melody is the song of history, and it is the song the people of Korean Peninsula have thought of the past 50 years of national tragedy.
The Korean War was one of the biggest tragedies during the Cold War and bore casualties numbering over 2.5 million. To its survivors, it remains a most tragic war. Brothers and families divided over ideas, fought against each other, and died. This war gave Korean literati an endless source of material, especially about men and sin. Poet Gusang was no exception. He remains a singular poet who sublimated the pain of war into art with his poem about the war, Wasteland Poems.
초토의 시 자체가 그 뭐 다 보시면 알지만은 그런 어떤 현실적인 당위성, 이렇게 시를 현실적인 어떤 당위성에 맞춘다든가 그 소위 전략적 가치라고 그러죠. 그런 데에 맞추지 않았어요. 나는 어떤 의미에서 모두 그 존재론적이고 또는 보편적 인류의 어떤 보편성에서 시라는 걸 썼어요.
The war made the poet focus on existence rather than outer appearance. Through this, Kusang was able to build a new dream by melding religion into the tragic war. This sublimation helped Koreans overcome their wounds from the internal war and prepare for tomorrow. Kusang was one of the few people of the earlier Cold War era to have experienced both sides firsthand. This experience taught him that men cannot live only by ideologies. That's why he followed the path of literature throughout his life. Through this process, the poet discovers the path men should follow. His unique world consists of meditation about existence and the understanding of literature through the eyes of religion. His poems perpetually converse with the gods, while exploring the vast horizons of man's spirit and mind.
Kusang's own life has a close relation to his world of poetry. He lived in times of turbulence for the Koreans, and the turbulence changed the world of his literary work. Shall we take a look at these changes?
The results of the war were catastrophic. Korean soil became the tragic scene of the Cold War, and its inhabitants were forced to live with consequences that extinguished their hopes. In a place where the value of existence was degraded, the poet started to sing for his native country. The song for a new world came alive in his Wasteland Poems.
He has a great sense of humour. And humour is not a characteristic of Korean literature. And wherever you find it, you will usually find good prose and good poetry. Now, he combines that humour with an incisive mind. He's a very honourable man. He expresses a moral view that he would like to see modern Korean people accept in their lives.
He serially published his works in an effort to widen his world on ontology. His poems record a metaphysical world rarely seen in Korean poems. His poems are about historical thoughts on existence standing amidst creation and extinction.
그 영혼을 살고 있다. 그래서 나는 죽고 나서
Kusang's literary world and his works of literature blazed a trail followed by many poets for years to come.
본드레한 말을 한다고 사람이 끌려가는 게 아니라 오히려 소위 말을 더듬는 사람도 그 더듬는 그 말 속에 진실이 더 담겨 있으니까 오히려 그 사람 말이 잠들게 들러 감동을 시켜요 사람에게. 네. 그래 말만 비단같이 번들에 늘어놓으면 그 말의 치장으로들 오해들 하는데 그것이 요새들 시인들이 자기 스스로의 어떤 그 인식 자체 이것이 자기의 어떤 실존과 일치하려고 그렇게 말하자면 노력을 하는 거죠, 뭐.
After Wastelands of Fire, the poet published a total of 13 books of poetry. These books have been translated into various languages and have become a shining model of Korean poetry. His poems seek absolute values in things and nature and ask us to understand by seeing them in verses. This may be an outcry of a person who has experienced a national tragedy, telling the gods and the heavens about the beautiful human beings on earth.
Kusang sang the nation's fate within the war's ruins and the transcendental spirit life has from the nature. His 60 years of poetic work has set a milestone upon the Korean poetry. For those of you interested in his work, take a look at the following website. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.